Rosamund Pike. Hi, everyone.
Hi, I'm Daniel Henney.
I'm Zoe.
And I'm Madeline.
I'm Josha. I'm Marcus Rutherford.
We have, pushed the boundaries of the locations we filmed in. We've filmed in places that have never been filmed in before, so we know we're going to be delivering something unique. And there was one place that we filmed which makes up a substantial part of episode 8, where we needed the universe gods to coalesce in some way to deliver us this location in the way that it would be perfect. And those gods did, and stars aligned. And, there was a sort of 40-60 chance against us that everything would happen right. And it paid off. And it was one of the most mythical experiences of my filming career. And I'm very excited for people to see that. Season 2 is offering up villains, enemies who are intractable and intelligent and fearsome. We're getting further away from the bestial adversaries of season 1, the Trollocs, however much they are a crucial part of the world of the Wheel of Time. By the end of episode 1, you see Moraine fighting a Fade, and you know that she's going to do that without the One Power, and then by the end of episode 2, we're getting to grips with exactly what the Seanchan army is going to mean for our characters in season 2. What their invasion of a small town, the dominance, the havoc they wreak, the way they weaponize the One Power and enslave women who can channel. You realize, okay, this is the Wheel of Time going in a much, much darker and more dangerous direction. I'm also excited for you to meet the Aiel, who's a culture of mystery and honor and incredible fighting, fantastic female warriors who wed themselves to the spear, they say. So that is the marriage most important to them, a sort of marriage of women and war, which is very interesting to me. Many, many things, but to see the growth of our key characters, the maturity developing in the Two Rivers 5, all of that is something that I'm excited for people to see.
The way equality exists in this world is something that is really fascinating.
What's wonderful about Robert Jordan's writing is that women exist with this power and it's not forced at all. It's just the way the world.
One for me is always how to juggle extreme emotion with a character that is not that emotional. I knew in episode, shouldn't give that away, but I knew I had a very emotional scene with Moraine, and scenes, I should say, a couple scenes, and it was tricky trying to get the tone right, and I hope we did. Those are always the hardest things. The most memorable things, like I said before, are these amazing locations, and we were shooting in like olive tree farms and castles in Italy, and we were, they'd taken these sets that they built. I'm not going to mention what it was. They'd taken them to this area of Morocco where the tide comes in every 4 hours, and you have to shoot within that window, and you have to get this perfect shot. And we're wrapped up with stunt wires being pulled through the air, and it's megaphones, saying 3, 2, 1, and then we got 20 minutes before the tide washes everyone out, and we got to get the shot right. And just like, that's why I got into this business, is that excitement and making movies. And the Wheel of Time feels like you're making 8 movies, honestly. So it's there's not a lot that's not memorable, to be honest with you.
I think for me there was scenes that I think the scripts are so well written like that. There's something exciting in all the scenes, like for us, like whether it's for me, whether it's like there's an element of humor, or there's an element of darkness, or there's an element of conflict, or internal struggle with loyalty or identity, or so I would feel that there's always something really challenging and investigative in all the scenes. It's a hard one to say without telling you too much. There's plenty of scenes that I was excited to shoot as well, but I probably just can't describe them,
I
One scene for me that was like surprisingly challenging was Elaine is a novice at the White Tower and with Egwene, and novices have to do chores, so we're kind of doing all these mundane chores as we're filming, and one day we were mopping the floors, and it was we were so bad at it. We were so bad at mopping these floors. We were just like absolutely terrible. And we were trying to make it look like convincing, but also like trying to deliver this scene. But I think it works overall because we're very distracted as it is. And Elaine as well, she's the daughter heir. She's not particularly well versed with mopping floors. It's definitely something that's very new to her. So it was just quite a funny day, really, of just trying to mop these floors with these Wheel of Time mops that just were really ineffective. So it was just a funny but challenging day.
And yeah, I think it's quite hard not to give stuff away, but I think there were some really challenging moments like that were quite physically demanding, kind of like night shoots and sort of being out in the cold and stuff like that. But I think they've also been moments I look back on that have been that extra bit of effort. Like directors like Thomas have like pushed, you know, for those visuals, and they've been things that I look back on and I think they look amazing. So it's really exciting and was remarkable to work on. But yeah, at the time, very like just like night shoots, cold, wet. So it's physically quite demanding.
The most challenging and remarkable day was one of the locations in Morocco, a place nobody shot there before, and the way how we got there, because it was so remote, but it's so such a beautiful location. So we were so happy that we pulled off this shooting day, and it was just amazing, and you can see it on screen, I think. That was the most remarkable day.
Yeah, and I think a lot that particularly, which you will see, it's a fabulous location right at the end of the series. But it's a lot of the Morocco was tough. You know, big battle sequences, big set builds on location, in remote places. So you know, it was tough, but hugely satisfactory when you see it on screen.
Yeah, I mean, it's we've got a big crew, and we move the crew around those countries. That's a challenge, but you only can make this work with a great team, and we have a great team and a passionate team, and without our crew, we wouldn't have done this.
Personally, I would say the arrival of Lady Suroth is at Atuan's Mill is the most exciting day. It was a big build-up to that whole sequence. And then the most challenging day, you have to watch episode 8. You got to watch episode 8. There's an amazing sequence in episode 8. And I'd say that was pretty challenging.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you?
I would say the same. No, honestly, I'd say the same. Like for both of us, because we work so closely with one another, we both have pretty much the same challenges. And so the build up for getting the Shanchan on screen, we didn't have that much time, but the preparation and the amount of testing that I personally had to do for the sold arm to get them right, it took a long time, and so to see them on screen finally and to have that wow factor when you stand back and look at the whole set, it was probably the most, my best day from season 2, and then it just kept getting bigger and bigger as we went along, and so I really, once everybody sees the whole season, I think that you'll understand what we're saying. It just gets bigger.
I've stolen a lot, quite some stuff now, but it's there's certain things that are quite hard to steal.
And then season 3.
Yeah, season 3 just goes mad. Season 3, we're just exploding everything. Boom. Season 3 is we're being as free as we can. I mean, season 3 pushes every boundary out there.
I suppose I would say my horse, Aldib.
I'm fond of Hadori because of the journey we went on together.
Well, it feels like for Rand it's all internal, and and he can't really
the very few places where he can express himself, who he wants to be. And that's why I think it's very interesting that at the start of season 2, Rand is working at a place where he's taking care of people who struggle with their mental health. And that feels like the only place where he can actually be himself. And once he goes out of those walls, he has to hide himself.
I mean, it's incredible, you know. I think that's one of the most inspiring aspects of the job, is looking around and seeing people that have worked tirelessly to bring this show to life. You know, when you come to set and you see people paying such fine attention to, you know, a torch or to, you know, some buttons on a costume, it's like you realize what a massive team you're a part of. And I always get an overwhelming sense of pride to be able to come onto a set and know that I'm a piece of the puzzle. And, you know, I get to wear these costumes, I get to walk around in this set, I get to interact with the other cast that are here as well. You definitely have pinch me moments. And, you know, where it's what an incredible series to be a part of. You know, the characters that we play are such dimensional people. So really you find yourself just with a plethora of inspiration to draw from.
He's carrying a lot of secrets. He's not only carrying a lot of secrets, like he is the secret. He is the Dragon Reborn. He is a man who can channel, and every time he channels, he comes closer to the madness.
Honestly, you just have to go for it. You absolutely can't half-ass it, excuse my French. Else it won't translate. It requires a lot of imagination and trust too, that you won't end up looking like a bit of a tool. I think one of the few times I think it made me hysterical was Maddie and I at the end of season 1. We were essentially being burnt to a pulp, and we were just kind of convulsing on top of each other.